It appears that the far-right TV network Newsmax has apologized for spreading election lies. They're real sorry that they got caught peddling election fraud. The election fraud conspiracy. Now, Business Insider reported this on Friday. An executive at Dominion Voting Systems has moved to dismiss Newsmax as a defendant in the defamation lawsuit after reaching a settlement with the right-wing media organization. It is the first such settlement from a news organization in a defamation lawsuit filed over 2020 election conspiracy theories. So now the person that had moved to settle is a man named Dr. Eric Coomer, who was the director of product strategy and security at Dominion Voting Systems. Now, he sued Newsmax in December in state court in Colorado over false claims that he took part in a Antifa conference call to rig the 2020 presidential election against Trump. Ah, yes, the monthly Antifa conference calls, the meetings where we discuss world domination and who to cancel next. I cannot believe that that's a thing that people actually think exists. No, Antifa is not having conference calls. Antifa is not even like an organized group. It's an ideology. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. But it is amazing how right-wing propaganda is believed so uncritically, which is the problem, because the right wing has shown that it is more violent, more openly violent, and so of course the death threats poured in for this guy because according to the Newsmax audience and according to Newsmax itself, he was the enemy. He was the guy who helped rig the election against Donald Trump and installed Joe Biden into office. Now, Newsmax, of course, posted an apology saying after the fact, it turns out we looked into the election fraud conspiracies that we were uncritically spreading the entire time, and we found no evidence. It wasn't based in reality. Oops, our bad. Sorry. Quote, since Election Day, various guest attorneys and hosts on Newsmax have offered opinions and claims about Dr. Eric Coomer, the Director of Product Strategy and Security at Dominion Voting Systems. Newsmax would like to clarify its coverage of Dr. Coomer and note that while Newsmax initially covered claims by President Trump's lawyers, supporters, and others that Dr. Coomer played a role in manipulating Dominion voting machines, Dominion voting software and the final vote counts in the 2020 presidential election, Newsmax subsequently found no evidence that such allegations were true. On behalf of Newsmax, we would like to apologize for any harm that our reporting of the allegations against Dr. Coomer may have caused to Dr. Coomer and his family. That's the apology. Let me tell you what, that's weak. Weak sauce. Total weak sauce. That they knew, Newsmax knew they were reporting just complete and utter bullshit. They were putting this out for the masses. And guess what? They made a ton of money off of it in clicks and views. And also, not only that, but the damage is already done. Newsmax lied to, I would assume, millions of people. Okay, I don't know their numbers. Their numbers are probably a lot higher than mine. So yes, they were telling people what they wanted to hear about so-called fraud because they're sad that they lost the election, and they wanted to blame somebody. And so here comes Newsmax, here comes OANN, saying, "Oh, don't worry, we know the truth. The election was stolen from you." Even though we have absolutely no evidence to, corroborate that. And we know that we're putting out dangerous propaganda that is going to incite some people into violence, as it did in January 6th. But we don't care because guess what? We told you what you wanted to hear, and you gave us clicks and views and ad revenue. That's it. Again, do you think any Newsmax viewers are swayed at all by this backtracking, by this this apology? No, of course not. The lie has already been disseminated. The only thing Newsmax gets with this apology is the fact that they're no longer being sued, for one, and they get plausible deniability. They even said, "Oh, we basically thought that these claims were legitimate. We did an investigation. Turns out they were unfounded." Oops. Sorry, our bad. Yay. We don't have to be sued anymore. So not only are they safe from that lawsuit, but they get to run away with, I think, a lot of the money, because I don't know if they settled for any amount of money. Even so, the amount of probably ad revenue that they had received as a result of this, airing these election conspiracies, was probably a significant amount. So there's no accountability here for inciting the January 6th Capitol riots, or even the death threats that so many have gotten from unhinged Newsmax viewers. This is utter bullshit. Total, complete bullshit. You know what I want to say? I want to see purveyors of disinformation get fucking wrecked. That's what I want to see. You know why? It's because they hurt the discourse, okay? They hurt the discourse and they hurt the country. This is why I can't talk to conservatives. Because when you try to have a conversation with them, they come up with nonsense gibberish, conspiracy theories. You can't have a conversation of, oh, I think taxes should be a little higher on the rich. Well, why do you disagree? Why do you think that taxes should be lower on the rich and on corporations? And instead, you hear nothing about Antifa super soldiers, communism. I can't have a conversation with you if you don't grasp reality, if we can't agree on simple factual information. That's why Fox News, Newsmax, OANN, all these different right-wing channels, the whole right-wing media sphere is absolute poison. It's garbage. What we need is a fairness doctrine. We need people to actually talk about facts again. We need to have a clear line between opinion and fact pieces. It's okay to have a conservative point of view. I think you're wrong, but Jesus Christ, as long as you're speaking about things that are in reality, then at least you can have a conversation and move forward for that. We do not live in that country. We have a conservative party in this. Actually, we have two conservative parties in this country, but one is mired in bullshit and conspiracies. That you can't have a country, a healthy discourse, if one party is out in the middle of, nowhere, in crazy land. That's what's wrong with this. That's what's wrong here. Because, and here's the thing, why these big these alternative media companies, on the right wing that spread disinformation, why they need to be wrecked. Because if they're not, then it won't be long until they get back and spread more harmful conspiracy theories without consequence and further harm the discourse. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.